Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Know Your Worth. I'm sure you recognize this young lady. We just have not done something in a while. So we're going to do something called Am I the A-Hole? I am obsessed with these. I've been talking to Toya about them. And this one actually has to do with HR and things of that nature. So hopefully some people can hear this and know exactly what they're supposed to do. But before we get started, we have a very special event coming up on November the 11th. The changing landscape of people and culture. Tell them a little bit about it, Toya.
Oh, yeah. So this is an online event, and we are going to focus on helping new to medium-sized businesses establish their business. So we're going to focus on the HR portion of it, the legal side of it, how to effectively hire, how to retain your top talent, and then also how to legally terminate your employees. We're going to bring in a bunch of different speakers. So we're going to talk about trauma within the workplace, mental health within the workplace. We have someone who's going to come in and talk about finance. So if you're a nonprofit organization and you want to learn how to go out and get the grants out there or work with grant writers, we're going to have so many different people participating in this event. And then we also welcome vendors, those who want to advertise or broadcast their business. It can be anything. If you sell jewelry, if you do staffing, or if you're a travel agent, whatever your business may be, you can definitely sign up as a vendor and do partnerships with other organizations within this online event. So it's going to be a big online event, our very first online event, and we're super excited, and we're super excited to work with you all. And if you all want to work with me directly and Wilfred directly, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So we'll share a little bit about that as it get closer, and just look out for the advertisements that we're going to be doing in September and October. And there will be a little discount for the first few people that sign up. But then after that, it will go back to its original cost.
Thank you so much. So let's get into today's topic.
Okay.
Am I the A-hole? I am obsessed with so many of these. It's a million of them out there. But when I told Toya about this, she did not believe it at first. The story is that wild. So let me give you the basis of the story.
Okay.
A young African-American woman was just talking at the water cooler about what she was going to do for Juneteenth. Caucasian male, Caucasian woman walked up and heard the conversation and said, "Okay, we're coming. What should we bring?" She kind of brushed it off because to her thought, they don't know where I live. Everything's going on. Her family is in town. That was part of it. She was homesick. Her family's in town. They're having a really good time. And then there's a knock at the door. She goes to the door, and it's her white coworkers in like kente cloth shirts, and they brought water. So she asked them to leave. They would not. So she wound up calling the police.
Mm-hmm.
So the title to this is, Am I the A-hole for having my coworkers arrested? That is literally the title. So whenever they go back to work, Monday or Tuesday, everybody's talking about it. They're trying to get her in trouble. Like, I can't believe she would do this. I can't believe she would do that. Now, because they're talking so much and they think that they're in the right, an Asian coworker steps up and says, "Hold up. They showed up to my house too for Chinese New Year in like kimonos." And then a Hispanic coworker says something like, "Hold up. They came to my house too for Cinco de Mayo with like fake mustaches and sombreros." So there's so much to unpack here. So if you're like me, the first thing I thought was, how did they find out where she lived? Short answer, they walk into the HR manager or HR, I can't remember the exact title.
Mm-hmm.
She just opened up the file and let them look at whatever they wanted to look at. So, Latoya, you are currently in law school.
I am.
Let's just start with that. What I don't even know how to ask this question, but like, how many laws did they really break? Like, between the three of them, because the person who let them look in and the two who thought it was okay to look into somebody's personnel files.
You know, so many. And so like you mentioned earlier, I didn't believe that this was true because there's no way that an HR manager is going to breach confidentiality within the workplace by providing another coworker, employee's personal information to another. And so when you told me that, I was like, this can't be true. Are they like doing paper filing? Like, did they just, hack the system? Like, it has to be something else. But it was true. The HR manager provided that information to the employee, and they showed up to this young lady's home. And not only just her home, but other coworkers' homes too, doing these type of events. But so many things could have happened. And, as I was sharing with you earlier, Wilford, he could have had some type of infatuation with this young lady. He could harass her. He could be stalking her. He could have raped her. He could have hurt her children, so many different things. And then I do believe they did get charged for assaulting a police officer as well.
Don't forget the part while yelling BLM. Don't forget that part.
Yelling BLM, just making so much chaos out there. But the thing is, she did tell this young man and young lady at the workplace that it was just an event for her and her family. So basically, she told him in the beginning that this is not for you to attend. She told him again, once he showed up to her home, this is just an event for me and my family. It is not for you all to join. This is a private event. So she made it very known. She can probably sue if she could for emotional distress, depending, but she got to prove that, it could be civil. It just depends on where they were going to go with it. But I do know that they decided to do a settlement outside of that. So they decided to handle it outside of court. So I'm sure she got a very nice settlement because the CEO of the company had to step in. And I do know that HR manager was let go. But this had to happen so many times. And I really do believe that someone had to bring it to the CEO attention before, and maybe he just didn't take it seriously because the HR manager felt like it was an okay thing to do. And like you mentioned too, it's just like you mentioned, it's just saying like you just showing up to your VP of HR home and talk about, let me eat with you. Like when you mentioned that earlier, I was just like, that is the same thing, and I don't think she's seen it in that way. And I don't know why she thought it was okay to provide that information unless she was in that role with no training. Maybe it could have been a family business and they're just putting people in certain roles without the proper training. I'm not really sure. I mean, it's so many what ifs and so many questions that I do have, but I do know if something criminal would have happened to her on her property, that HR manager would have definitely could have been facing some charges.